COVID was heavy.
Yeah.
So I think it might have been Steven, the farm director himself, but at least Fondy Farm, they got a grant and they cut our rent for last year down to like a fifth of what it
Wow.
typically costs, and
Amazing.
it's already cheap
Yeah.
when you think about how much land you got.
Yeah.
And they put these up, and they gave us all space, and they're not charging us to use the space. At least this year. Next year might be a little bit different. They did go through an expense to get everything and to put it up and whatnot. So I wouldn't be mad at all if they asked us to contribute a little bit. But again, this is an incubator farm, so they're not going to ask much.
Gotcha.
Now this first house, I see a lot of Mequon Nature Preserve people and staff people go in there. So I don't really go in there typically because we
Okay.
are in Mequon, and people seem to always watch me, and I don't want the wrong person to think that I'm doing something I'm not supposed to.
Right.
But this is the one that we were in, and of course, it's almost August. So it's gonna be the hottest month of the year. So no one has anything in here
Right.
currently,
Uh-huh.
because it would literally just fry. And actually, let me not move that. Oh, okay, I see. Huh? He locked it so it stayed open, which is good. So in here, there's, I believe this is a 100-foot hoop. I forget how wide it is. But this is like my dream, eventually to grow up and have something like this just for the Scales Farm, like our nursery for plant sales.
Yes.
But that's a few years in advance, and after we actually purchase our own farm. This isn't something that I would necessarily build on that plot. It might be a little bit big, says my
Gotcha.
wife. Not me though. I might go for it.
Yeah.
And over here we don't typically do anything with this, but they have a couple beehives here, and I believe the Mequon Bee Club has some of these hives. So you
Nice.
do every once in a while see a group of people, getting their Tyvek suits up or their bee suits up, putting their, most of them wear it. But I have seen some cats that are real comfortable with the bees and they don't wear anything but something like this.
Okay.
Last thing over here that I'll point out is this 20,000-gallon cistern. So we collect rainwater, or I should say, Fondy collects the rainwater from the roof of this pole barn, and this is a 20,000-gallon cistern. Before we got to IBC totes, which happened earlier this season, this is where we would get our water from.
Got you. What totes?
Yes.
We'll see those later?
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
This also makes me feel better. The guy's name, I believe, is Steve that does this. He does most of the container garden. There's a lot of weeds in here, there's a lot of weeds on my plot too. But this is what it looks like when you grow the way that we grow. We use no chemicals on our plot. So the ground does not stay bare.
Got you.
And usually there's a plant that we don't know how to take advantage of, and that's why we call them weeds. But I don't know if anybody can use Canadian thistle, but if you can and you want to pull it, come on down. But right now, I call it the enemy until I can find a way to use it properly.
Okay, okay.
I'm not motivated to find that though.
Yeah.
They do have a wash pack station that I don't typically use over here.
Okay.
Really, it's a wash station.
Uh-huh.
But they have a hose coming from the barn. You can take your produce out from the buckets or whatever you're carrying them in, and you can wash them down a little bit.
Cool.
We just field wash our stuff,
Okay.
but we usually do that at home. 'Cause I think that's potable water over there.
Okay.
But I just don't know.
Yeah.
So we just use our water at home,
Okay.
because we know you can drink that, and there's nothing in it that the city itself would say, okay, you can't drink that. This is just the beginning. People do come and fish in this pond.
Cute.
I cannot say that I've seen anybody pull one out.
Okay.
But I am a soon-to-be first-time fisher, and I'm thinking this will be the first place that I cast. With no expectation that I'm gonna pull anything, but I want to get comfortable with casting and all that, and being patient with just waiting for something to bite.
Right. You never fished before? What makes you want to fish now?
It's the same situation with farming. I knew that my great-grandparents had all of these skills, and all those skills that they just came with life. They needed to be survivalists, and those skills are lost. For the most part, there's only a select few that have those. So, as well as trying to teach people and motivate young black and brown and indigenous folks to get back into agriculture, I also want to learn all of those skills and pass them on. Because I want this to be common. Let's watch these cars. Sometimes they're not paying that much attention.
Right.
And that's a pile of leaf compost that we could purchase some, and Stephen will deliver it to the plot.
Nice.
We have a glorious porta potty.
Hey.
I will say that the farmers here, while we don't do too much communication, there is a language barrier. They make sure that even outside of the professionals that come and clean that, they keep that thing clean.
Excellent.
If they use it, they spend a lot of time. They make sure that's clean. So
beautiful.
That's like the only porta potty that the skin on my feet don't tingle when I step into it, because I'm a little bit. I don't like porta potties, but this one is.
I want to look.
Okay, I'm hoping that they can.
Let's
Don't
see.
disprove me now.
Let's see. Wow, beautiful. It smells. It does not smell.
They
It's gorgeous.
It's not just the professionals that keep it up. These farmers, and it could be a cultural thing. They show reverence to that by making sure that it don't get and stay messy.
Nice.
So I do appreciate that a lot. While I wish there was a little bit more community amongst the farmers, well, the farmers and me, they seem to communicate with each other quite often. That may happen, but it may take a few years for them to get used to me.
What are the other languages spoken on the farm?
Hmong primarily.
Gotcha.
And let me say, I'm not sure if that's actually what the language is called.
Okay.
I know we have a lot of Hmong farmers, and I'm just not up enough on if that's actually what you call that language.
Gotcha.
So I don't, if that's not what the language is called, that's my fault.
We'll forgive you.
So we have a whole bunch of different farms over here. There's one far in the corner. There's three black folks here that I know of.
Okay.
It's me. My wife is white, but it's me and my sons. And these two plots here. And the one on the far end, he's about 75.
Okay.
And every time I see him
Still out here.
he makes me feel so good.
Yes.
He's kind of that instructor that doesn't even intend to instruct. And that motivator that don't need to say or do anything to motivate. It's just a mere presence.
Yeah.
And he's like what I want to be when I grow up.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
He's just so cool. I haven't gotten to talk to the younger cat, but he be out here sweating and working, and I don't want to interrupt him. He be in a groove.
Yeah.
And I really dig that when I see it. But that doesn't mean the other farmers don't be in the groove. They definitely be in the groove.
Yes.
It's just some of them I can't. I haven't learned many Hmong words at all. So we are separated. Each of these in between the poles and going down to there's another set of poles is 1 acre.
Okay.
Okay. So at this point, everybody has at least 1 acre. Every farm except for the two brothers over here. They both have half an acre.
Gotcha.
So they share one land. length. And it's divided down the middle.
Okay.
So there's a lot of different techniques. I do have a lot of envy, though they don't necessarily grow the way I grow when it comes to inputs and stuff like that. I do have a lot of envy for these farmers. They not only are they close to the pond, so they pump water right from the pond. But the guy, he be out here, you know, in his boots with his towel over his head.